Welcome to One Word Today. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking triplets. So yesterday we have plants, right? Just this trident-looking Chinese grass symbol repeated 3 times. Now we have this structure. If you learn Chinese just a little bit, this figure, human figure, must have came across. So this 3 of them means crowd. Naturally, right? We don't really need to overthink. But zhòng, this character, totally make me overthink. As soon as I see, okay, traditional Chinese looks very different from the simplified Chinese, which just stack 3 human figure. This originally I interpret it as a 2-leg standing being, the bipeds of us. Frontal view, humans, nothing more to it. Eventually, when I look at the ancient version, especially from the Xushen dictionary era, 2,000 years ago's dictionary, they look very different. It's not symmetrical. It becomes side views, become profile views. And we can see here, the traditional Chinese is closer. Of course, it's traditional Chinese, right? It's closer to 2,000 years ago's seal script version captured into this dictionary. And we have this eyeball symbol here that looks like eyeball hovering over the sky, over this crowd of people. So here the people, the side views. One note, Chinese is leftward oriented culture versus English is right oriented. We all live in the car world that draw the coordinate system to kind of default the arrow pointing right as the forward going numbers goes bigger toward the right versus Chinese is actually leftward turning. That just shows originally there was no orientation. It's totally different cultures, different constructs, and we all live under one construct or another. Okay, Chinese constructed toward the left, and you notice all of them are facing toward the left. That means everybody is going toward the same direction. And probably last year talked about this follow concept, 2 of them, one after another, versus comparison, 2 of them back to each other. That becomes comparison. The difference that's made is by this orientation. If people oriented toward the left, forward going, everybody forward going, aiming toward the same goal, they're collaborating. They're going toward the same mission, live under the same mission statement, so to speak. So this group of people, by here, the visual shows everybody oriented toward the same forward-going direction. So this is a crowd. It's not a disorderly crowd. It is everybody shared a common mission type of crowd. It's more like today's company's teamwork kind of thing. It's not just, we're going to a concert kind of crowd. And even that crowd, most of the time, is facing toward the stage, right? So everybody orient toward the same. We're doing the same thing, enjoying the same thing. So that's the crowd. Now, the interesting part is here. This is a discovery I made by chatting with AI. Here, the top eyeball, naturally, I would just say, okay, of course, it's a totalitarian regime for thousands of years that in China, that this idea of oriented toward the left group of people under this watchful eye, okay? That seems logical, right? However, language started before Chinese culture became totalitarian, before China had central government. So that idea was also later added on to this land and people. Before then, it was like tribes, right? We just started from cavemen, from hunter-gatherer, eventually settled down to like agriculture, to become farmers, and eventually centralizing, centralizing, centralizing. So originally, this was not an I symbol. This was the sun. Simply means people for survival instinct need to work together. We're plowing through the field toward the same direction, coordinated, working under the sun. The sun is the ultimate regulator. Like everybody, work their rhythm, right? What is it called? Circadian rhythm oriented by the sun, right? The sun decides when you get up, and people working together under the sun. That was the original version of this. However, from the Zhou dynasty, which was kind of like a sort of government, but it was not iron fist kind of state identity, to Qin dynasty. Qin is the first centralized government in China, happened about 221 BC. Okay, I'm reciting from the book. It's that this Qin dynasty was the first time when the singular ruler and also the think tank around this ruler thought about ways how to control this vast piece of land made of different tribes, different language, different system, different currency. So they had to standardize a lot of things. And language control was an art that was realized and utilized back then, like over 2,000 years ago. This ruler and the think tank already figure out, okay, now we switch out the sun symbol, which means people collaborating, working on a farm field under the sun, a common agrarian society vision. Switch that out to this eye, this watching eye. That becomes central government supervision. Okay, today we're talking about a cyber supervision. Supervision on the invasion of privacy thing. Okay, 2,000 years ago, this ruler already realized that and actualized that by subtly switching out the sun symbol to the eyeball symbol, so that the whole flavor of what a society is about changed. It became from working with nature under the sun to living under the state, this watchful eye. Gosh, okay, language totally just the subtle change. So basically, if you know the sun versus the eyeball, it's just add one horizontal line. The subtle change kind of secretly, like a subconsciously code this idea of what crowd is about from this ruler's intention to shape our world view. Wow. So that's the big discovery I made today, and super excited to talk, because by looking at things far enough, we kind of can transcend all these later add-on ideologies and kind of power play in the language. Okay, so the concept, this crowd, eventually got tinted, because it's a crowd, right? Crowd control from this governing of the crowd idea to later day when we use the language, everybody use the language. Traditional Chinese still have this watchful eye hovering over it. And ironically, I mean, very watchful government centralized the place that simplified the Chinese language use, get rid of this eye symbol at all, and just place three humans stacking up to create the crowd. And that came to its almost physical reality of, okay, humans, we come in different statues. So some are taller than others. So this almost like a visually reflecting how a diverse population will look like, right? All right. 众口难调. Fixed expression talks about crowd mouth, and mouth here simply means your taste, because people use mouth in the language two functions: eating, right? So it's related to taste, and then speaking, related to opinion, outputting. So 重口 here, you can think of it either as taste or opinion. 难调, difficult to tune together, to harmonize together. So recently it happened that I use AI to generate some video based on my original video to make it shorter and more visual to help people, visual learners to learn. And some of the audience like it, some don't. And that's a classical incidence of 众口难调. It's a given. Like when I put my content out, by definition, 众口难调. And it's almost like a flattering to me to see, okay, there are actually people watching the content and they have their preference, and I'm trying to adjust, to adapt. But I mean, 众口难调is simply a fact. People who don't like it, just skip. Easy as that. Okay, 众口铄金. Here we have 众口again. And 铄金, 铄means melting metal. And we can actually see the 金 as part of it. And together, 铄金, melting metal by 铄itself already there. But we add the 金, the object of 铄, this melting metal again, to double down on the idea of this power of words. Okay, so it's almost like a public opinion in this expression matters so much that we can regard human 众口, right? Output opinion. In this case, it's no longer taste, it's opinion, output. So public opinion would be so powerful that it can melt the metal. And that's a realization by Chinese. And it's almost like it gives a high regard to the importance of language, the importance of like the make or break of things by public opinion. So this is almost like a testimony to the importance of PR. Okay. 众叛亲离, crowd, right? We have here crowd, and 亲 means your relative, people who share the same family name or lineage, and 叛 means rebel. 众叛 or betrayal, even like people who used to support you, this crowd, who may not relate to you in any way, and they become betrayal, like not only not helping you, but kind of selling you out. So that's 叛. 亲离, okay, your blood ties, they cannot, do harm to you in the way that they sell you out, but they leave you behind, like don't want to have anything to do. Instead of like a negative impact on you, at least they kind of stay neutral and away. Don't add or remove any of your resources or power. So 众叛亲离 talks about this situation when somebody made a certain move or decisions, behaviors that's so displeasing to people that they can no longer gain support. And then this two behavior of the crowd, people who are not related to you, they simply sell you out, betray you, and your relatives, your blood, family, blood ties, they will just leave you behind. They don't want to have anything to you. So this is a punishment to somebody. And I guess for psychopaths, type category, like that doesn't matter, doesn't hurt them. For majority of like regular people, that's a huge deterrent for someone to take such a big step of doing something that can cause such a pain, to have the crowd turn away or against you. All right, so here is 众. And I hope this episode lead us to appreciate the language to the degree that a lot of concepts and constructs we see today was so modulated and tainted throughout the history. And this is what I'm here for. This is the moment I've been spending my time on to kind of dig out a little deeper to understand what this language originally about and what a society used to be and how it evolved over time and now comes to today, what that means to us, what this crowd, this zhòng means to us. All right, thank you for your time. See you another